All right, it is a super chilly morning here in the Louisiana marsh. I'm out here to see what I can get to bite, but I really want to catch some redfish. I've developed a new recipe that I made a couple of weeks ago, and I've got to tell you, it's probably the best fish dish I've ever made. Maybe even the best fish dish I've ever eaten. So hopefully we can catch some today, bring them home, and I'll show you how I prepared them. Come along with me. All right, you can see the sun's not up yet. I'm looking at the water here and it's spectacular, absolutely gorgeous. We got a northeast wind, and here in the Louisiana marsh, or a lot of the marsh, northeast wind blows water in, often blows clean water in, and that's definitely what's going on today. Not much tide range today. It's the day when it kind of builds back up. Last 2 days have been terrible tide range, but it is falling right now. Not gonna fall too much longer though, unfortunately. So we'll be fishing a rising tide most of the day. Oh, there's a fish, speckled trout. I think it's a legal fish, not the redfish we're aiming for, but hey, I'm very happy with trout, no doubt. Second cast. I don't know if he's legal, actually. He would have been a few weeks ago, but I don't know if he is right now. Let's take a look. 12 3/4. 12 3/4, so close. All right, swim off and grow. Hopefully you'll be legal soon. Although with as cold as it is, it may take you a while. Whew, I can't even talk, man, it's chilly. Oh, I had a good hit, missed him. Slow on the draw. What I'm throwing, by the way, is a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head with a green hornet matrix shad. Just one of my favorite wintertime combos. Oh, there's a fish. Another trout, looks about the same size. Yeah, he might even be a little smaller. Man, I tell you what, that's another fish that would have been legal. And you know I love those 12-inch trout. Oh well. Oh, there's another one. This one feels foul hooked, or maybe a redfish. Nope, just a better trout. Might be the first for the box. I think he is the first for the box. Long and skinny. That's how those fish look in the wintertime. Super skinny. All right, he's also a 1/4 inch too small. Fishing a little intersection here of two bayous. Not super deep, 3.5 feet right here. But you can see some mixing water right there. That's what those fish are holding on. Obviously a good number of them there. They're just not all that big. We'll give it a few more casts. We don't catch any keepers. We'll just move on. Even though the fish aren't big, still fun feeling that hard tap on this jig. Water temp, if you're wondering, is 53.4. Chilly, but everything will bite in that. Or to get about 4 or 5 degrees cooler, then those trout really don't like that. Still catch reds in it. Oh shoot, still catch reds in it though. That was a good hit, probably from a 12-incher. Very different size trout than my last trip. Maybe you saw that video down in Port Mansfield, Texas. We caught some monsters. All right, before this tide quits falling, I'm gonna start moving, see if we can catch some reds. It's supposed to get up to the mid-60s today, and I tell you what, I'll be glad when it does. This northeast breeze, it's chilly. It's upper 40s right now. Oh, there's a red. Look at that wake. Look at that beautiful wake. We spooked him. All right, that's a good sign. There are some reds in here. Water's super shallow. And getting more shallow by the minute. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit uncomfortably cold, but I'll take a morning like this any day over a summer morning. Love this time of year, love this style of fishing. All right, I made a long pass in this beautiful pond. Perfect water clarity, just gorgeous. Have not gotten a bite, and I think it's because I'm not fishing smart. We got, well, now 52-degree water temps, and I'm fishing 1.5 feet of water with a falling tide. Just stupid. I should be fishing some deeper water, maybe passes between ponds, little short bayous. That's where those reds are gonna be, not in this stuff. So I'm gonna fish my way out of this pond and try and find something on the map that looks like it might hold some fish. Fish will perhaps push into something like this when that tide switches and starts rising. But after a chilly night with this falling tide, almost certain that they pulled out. So bayous and big water until this tide turns around. All right, I found a little bayou. It's got a little bit better depth, 3.5 feet right here. A little bit wider than I'd like, but we'll see if it's holding a few reds or anything else. Maybe a flounder, maybe some trout. All right, beautiful bend in this bayou coming up. Doesn't have a ton of depth right here. Hopefully it does in that bend. Man, that looks good. Oh, goodness, what the, oh, I missed him. That was a big red. Oh, goodness. Todd, I had a terrible, terrible hook set. That was a big red fish. Man, that stinks. That was a good fish. Probably too big to keep. Still would like to have caught him. All right, we're in this bend and it's still only 1.5 feet. So this isn't the right bayou for us. We're gonna mosey. All right, I couldn't really find a suitable bayou. So now I've come into some big water. I'm gonna make some casts with this blade, try and cover some water quickly. Water could not be better. Could not be better. I'm still very, very optimistic we're gonna find some fish. Just gotta put the puzzle together. Come on, baby, come on, redfish. Come on, redfish. Oh, just spooked a red. There he goes. Shoot. That's a little troubling to see. He was just sitting on the bottom. There are fish in here, they're just not eating. He was sitting on the bottom, not even moving. Look at that dust cloud, good Lord. Spooked another red. Spooked another red. There are fish in here. There are definitely fish in here. We just can't catch them. Just don't think they're feeding. But I hate that excuse. I absolutely hate that excuse. Need to figure out what will make them bite or where there are some feeding fish. The wind has gone to ludicrous speed. Probably blowing close to 20. Maybe even low 20s. It's really, really windy. I was on the lee side of this big lake and now I'm on the windward side. See if that makes a difference. Oh, there's a fish. All right, there we go. First red of the day. It's definitely not a keeper. I say that. He's gonna hit the tape. Gotta try and hold us here. This wind's blowing 400 miles an hour. Yeah, I don't think this guy's gonna make the cut. But it's a start. There we go. It is a start. I wasn't getting bit on that blade at all. I think it might have been too active for how these fish are. So I switched to that matrix shad, almost immediately got a bite. All right, he's 15 3/4, just a little bit too small. Gotta let him go. Won't be eating him. I would like to have made a few casts at this point, but wind blew me right up on it before I was even done fighting that fish. I mean, it's just crazy windy today. Crazy windy. That fish hit really aggressively. That was good to see. Of course, those little fish bite in almost any conditions. They're young and dumb. Oh, there's a fish. Another rat red, I don't know. He's a little nicer. He's a little nicer. Spotted. Maybe not nicer. Maybe about the same. I don't know. He might be 16. Beautiful spotted fish. We're gonna see if he's legal. Another one's a 1/4 inch too small. It's like they know. There's a fish. Oh, oh, ho, 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 ho. That's a big red. All right. Look at that beautiful fish. Sight for sore eyes today. Didn't get the best hook set, but hopefully he set it by now. Oh, he threw it. Nah, man. Oh, goodness. I didn't get a good hook set, but man, I felt like it should have penetrated during that fight. Ah, that's 2 nice reds I've lost today. Neither of which did I get a good hook set. All right, time check is 9:30, but I'm not gonna lie, it's been a tough day. Pretty extreme conditions with this wind, but still, I've found some pretty water. I just feel like I should have more fish in the boat. Got to put something together. I'm gonna sit down, do a little map study, try and figure something out that's nearby to here that has potential to hold fish. Not sure if this tide is still falling. It may have quit. That may be part of the problem. I don't know. We'll see. But everything's on the agenda now. I was trying to catch some redfish to take home to do that catch and cook. Hasn't happened yet. I still am optimistic, but I'm gonna try for some trout as well, just to catch something to put in the box. Got a bunch of lonely ice in there. Still think we're gonna make something happen. Stick with us. Oh, there's a fish. Speckled trout. Another throwback. Theme of the day, throwbacks. Oh, there's a fish. There's a redfish. Nope, I think it's a foul hook trout, actually. I think it's a foul hook trout, not our red. But it's a foul hook keeper trout. Yeah, it's about a 15-incher. This fish is icy cold. All right, first take homer of the day. Let's see if that was a fluke. I got a hit on a, I don't know, a hop or two before I got that one. But it just shows you these fish are not feeding. Oh, there's one. That one's feeding. That one's feeding, but he's not a keeper. Would have been. That's an old school keeper. Man, skinny, skinny fish. Let's see why you ate. You're starving to death. Oh, another bite. Oh, another bite. Goodness. There's a few fish there. I don't think they're very big. Oh. There's one. Keep getting bit, man. I'm saying he's barely legal. I'm saying he's barely legal. That's my guess. I don't know, my eyes haven't adjusted yet to 13-inch fish. I could always tell easily with a 12-incher. 13 inches, considerably bigger. Let's see if he makes the cut. He's bigger than 12, I know that. All right, second keeper of the day. 13 and a half. These fish have got me twitchy, man. I tell you what, they're nailing this bait. There's one. Not a keeper. Not a keeper. Not even close. You were just sniffing it, huh, dude? Yeah, you got a sore mouth, but this will heal. And you'll grow up big and strong. And move out to the Chandler Islands. Make some babies. Raise a family. You'll have a good life. I have no idea how deep it is right there. Right here where the boat is, it's 3.5 feet. I don't think it's terribly deep. Up ahead in this bayou, in this bend, it was 7 feet. But there's a break in the shoreline here, so the water kind of splits, so it's less deep right here. Where I'm throwing, I'm betting is a foot or two. I throw this Versamax bolt, holy jolly matrix shad, just to keep them honest. Oh, first cast. First cast takedown. All right, there we go. There we go. Sadly, a 2022 keeper, but a 2023 throwback. I need to measure you. I know you're not 13. Make a couple casts with this scope stick. See if we can lure a strike from a bigger fish. If there are any in the school. Oh, there we go. There we go. On the scope stick. I'm not sure he's appreciably bigger, but he might be a keeper. Yeah, he's a keeper. All right, there we go. This bait kind of weeds out the smaller fish and definitely draws strikes from the bigger ones. Not that this is a trophy, obviously, but he's just one of the bigger ones in the school. Man, you weren't getting off, buddy. We're gonna need some pliers for you. Definitely a 13-incher. We're gonna check to verify. Yeah, he's 14 inches. Trophy. There's definitely a few fish right here. It's just a fork on this bayou in this bend. There's a trenasse or something right there. Pretty significant trenasse, really more of a ditch. Oh, another bite. Oh, another good bite. Dang it. Oh. Oh, goodness. There's one. How big are you? We're about to find out. We're finna find out. I don't think you're a keeper. Man, you're borderline. You're bigger than I thought. You are bigger than I thought. Super skinny, but might be long enough. You're definitely over 12. Let's see if you're over 13. You are. Welcome aboard, sailor. Nothing like getting on a good wintertime trout bite. Just love it. Took us a little while to find some fish today. I was hoping for redfish, but I'll settle for trout, no question. Oh, missed him. I'm getting at least one bite every cast. I'm sure it's just a ton of small fish in there, but you wonder, are the fish just pecking at it and spitting it? Is it just small fish hitting it and you hook the big ones? I don't know. Oh, there's another one. That feels like a decent one. Maybe foul hooked. Fighting weird, real weird. Must be foul hooked. No, he's hooked in the mouth. It's a good trout. By good, I mean keeper. Oh yeah, it's the trout of the day, no question. No question. About a 15-incher there. Oh, there's another one. Oh, that might be our red. Or a foul hook trout. Yeah, he's feeling foul hooked. He is feeling like a foul, I don't know. Now he's running like a red. Yep, redfish. Look at that, look at that. Now, given our track record from today, we might lose this fish. Definitely not a rat. Look kind of black drumish. He is, it's a black drum. That'll work for our recipe for sure. And he's keeper sized. He's not a big brute that you want to throw back. I mean, he's not small. I'm gonna say he's about 21, 22, somewhere in there. Still has his stripes. Come on, dude. All right, we got him. We got him. Let's get him in the boat. There we go. All right, there we go. These fish are delicious. He's not too big at all. He will be very good. We're gonna take him home. That's an unusual catch for me because I don't fish dead or live bait. I only fish plastic baits, artificials. So I don't catch a whole lot of black drum. Catch about as many of those as I do sheephead. But I like to eat them. They're good. They're very good. Probably better than redfish. I measured that when he was 21 inches, a little bit bigger than I typically keep. I like the 16 to 18 inches, but believe me, he'll be delicious. No complaints. Happy to have him. We'll see what effect it has on the fish, but that tide has definitely changed. The back of my boat is swinging around against the wind, so I'm guessing that tide is now rising. Pretty obvious the tide is now rising. Oh, there's a fish. You feel pretty decent. You feel like you might make the team. Why haven't you come up yet? Now you're feeling pretty small. No, you're gonna make the cut. All right. If I can get you to stay in the boat. All right. Well, let's measure him. Long, skinny. So close, so close. We're gonna let him go though. Swim off, dude. I thought for sure he was gonna make it, but it was not to be. He swims again. It's lucky he wasn't caught 2 months ago. Oh, what is that? What is that? That might be our red or a foul hook trout. I really don't know. Another drum. Something foul hooked. It's like a foul hook trout. Not a big one either. I mean, right in the middle of the fish. So that's when you realize a lot of those bites that I'm getting are just fish tagging it. They're not really biting it. They're just hitting it with their body, trying to kill it. How big are you? 12 and a half. Just a hair too small. There's another one. Man, the fishing is just great. Just every cast action. On 12 and 3/4 inch speckled trout. I don't know, I think he's 13. I know he's not 14, but I think he's 13. Barely hooked, right in the corner of the mouth. Let's see, I'm optimistic on this one. Oh yeah, 13 and a half. Good eater. Good eater. You almost have to set the hook in anticipation of a bite like that. Because if you wait till you feel it, they've already spit it. You would think with it being 55-degree water, they wouldn't be doing that. They'd just be chomping on it. You wouldn't think they'd be trying to kill it, having that much aggression. I think that Trinos is acting as a run-in, if that makes sense. There's a pond way on the other side of it, and with the rising tide, it's coming up through here. Normally, something like that would be good on a falling tide, but the actual structure of the way this is set up, water's coming through here into this bayou, and I'm guessing that's why those fish are holding here. Stuff like this, absolutely all over the marsh. That's why I love fishing new stuff all the time. Just going exploring and finding stuff like this. You keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, you'll turn a grind into a great day. Oh, there he is. I went to hop the bait, he was already on it. I don't think you're gonna make it. I don't think you're gonna make it. We're gonna put you on the tape, but I think you're about 12 and a half. You might just even be 12. You're not all that big. Ooh, 12 and a half. There you go, you're free. Thanks to regulation changes. All right, another successful day here in the marshes of South Louisiana. Believe me, you don't wanna miss this recipe. Next time you see me, I'll be in my kitchen. All right, here we are in my kitchen. And although the prep work for this recipe takes place in the kitchen, the actual cooking is outside. I have a Traeger. That's what I'm cooking my fish on. If you have just a regular grill, totally fine, works just as well with that. Now let me go through the list of ingredients that you'll need to make this. Most of them you probably have in your house. You might have to run out to get one or two. They're generally things that I stock, but I know I'm kind of a weirdo when it comes to cooking, so everybody may not have these, but believe me, you want to go out and get them if you don't already have them. Every one of them is critical. All right, the ingredients to prep the fish. Number 1, salt. Number 2, pepper. Number 3, chili powder. Number 4, onion powder. And number 5, cumin. You're gonna put those on the fish first, then you're gonna stick it on your grill, and when the fish is almost done, you're gonna cover it with a paste that you make from cilantro. That's the number 1 key ingredient that you may not have stocked in your house. I always stock cilantro. I use it in a lot of my cooking, but if you don't have it, cilantro is generally $1 at the grocery store. Grab yourself some fresh cilantro. And also some type of nuts. I use cashews for this. You can also use peanuts, you can use almonds. Again, not everybody may have that stock, so you might have to grab that at the store, but also another key ingredient for this. Also Parmesan cheese, and finally some type of oil, preferably olive oil or avocado oil. I'm using avocado oil for this. Olive oil works just as well. but you definitely want one of those 2 oils. All right, first thing, you want to rinse your fish and then pat it dry. You definitely want to start with a dry fillet. It makes all the seasoning stick and hold a lot better. Now, of course, if you watch the first part of this video, you know that this is not redfish. I've only made this dish once, kind of developed it a couple weeks ago, and as I mentioned, it's probably the best fish dish I've ever eaten. It was literally that good, and I did it with redfish. This is black drum. Doesn't matter. It's gonna be delicious, trust me. Black drum and redfish are close cousins. They taste very similar. Actually, I probably like black drum a little bit better. All right, we got our fillets nice and dry. I'm just gonna put a little dab of oil on them, not much. I'm gonna rub that in. Just gives the seasoning something to stick to. And I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle my seasoning on the fish. First off, salt. Now I'm using kosher salt. If you don't have that at home, table salt is totally fine. I just prefer this. I like the crunchiness of kosher salt. And of course, pepper. Push it real good. Those of you alive in the 80s will get that. Next up, we'll go with our chili powder, then our onion powder, and last but not least, our cumin. Now, this smells good enough to eat raw, but I wouldn't advise it. Go ahead and cook it. I've already preheated my Traeger. It's got a temperature setting, and I got it set at 375. If you've got a regular grill, I'd say get it like medium high. You want these to take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook. You definitely don't want to overcook them though, super important. Most people way overcook their fish. All right, while our fish is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and get our paste together. This is what really takes this dish to the next level. So we can basically just go ahead and put everything for the paste into a food processor and mix it all up, and we're gonna smear that on top of the fish. So first off, we got some Parmesan cheese. The only bad thing about Parmesan is not enough of it, so put a lot in. There's an axiom in cooking seafood that you don't put cheese on fish. Oh well, we're breaking it here, because it just works. Then we've got our cashews. We're gonna dump some of those in there. I don't ever measure anything. As you know, if you've seen any previous catch and cooks, I'm gonna say about that much. And then our cilantro, I've already washed this, and we want a pretty good amount. This stuff does not go far at all. This smear that we put on top of the fish. So I'm gonna put stems and all in there. You don't have to worry about picking off the leaves. It's all gonna be chopped up anyway, but you really want a hearty amount. Whew, I love cilantro, man, does it smell good. All right, and then we need a pretty decent amount of oil. I'm gonna say like a couple of tablespoons, maybe even more than that, but we'll go ahead and chop that up and we'll probably add some more. All right, that looks a little bit on the dry side. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more oil. Maybe another tablespoon or so. Scrape a lot of our paste off the side so it gets mixed up again. All right, that definitely looks better. That's kind of the consistency you're looking for. As I said, this stuff doesn't go far. It doesn't make a ton of paste, but it'll be enough for 2 fillets. All right, the Traeger's doing its job, nice and smoky. Put the fillets on. We're gonna let those go about 15 minutes. All right, time to take them off. Perfection. Yep, you can tell the fish flakes really easily with the spatula, so it's definitely done. You can also tell I already smeared the paste on there. That's about how you want them to look, just delicious. Oh, can't wait to eat this. All right, look at that, absolute perfection. Cannot wait to eat it. We'll see if it's as good with black drum as it is with redfish. I'm betting it is, maybe even better. There we go. This is so good. You gotta make this at home. The cilantro with the cumin and chili powder, it's just such a balance. It's kind of almost like a Tex-Mex dish. It's so good. Quite possibly the best fish dish I've ever made. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed the video and got something out of it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the Marshman Mastodon channel on YouTube. You can do that by clicking that button right there. Also, here's 2 videos YouTube thinks you like. Check those out if you got a minute. Until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh or in my kitchen, we'll see you right here on Marshman Mastodon.